Where did the new and improved speaker come from? What did the resurrected plunger cameraman become? What is the secret agent doing here again? What does the cameraman logo mean? Who are they? Robots or cyborgs? What updates has the Titan cameramen received? What does Alliance Aviation consist of? We can confidently say that this is one of the richest and most intense episodes of the series. I would even say this is one of the best episodes. As many as 4 spoilers were provided for it in the author's official channels. I'm also pleased with the length of the video, which is a full minute and a half. Greetings, my dear viewers. Pyramid on Air. I am very glad that real detective analysts have gathered on this channel. As usual, let's play an Arcana Hunter game. Find Arcane in video and win a pin. Stay on the channel because at the end of this video, I will show the winners of the latest Arcana Hunter game. So first of all, let's go through the review and then dive right into the full analysis of the episode. Stay tuned to the channel because there will be a lot of interesting things. Go! From the very beginning, we see an army of Skibidi toilets attacking a certain location. This location is clearly located next to the same one that was shown in the 60-second episode. The Alliance is holding the defense. Squads of Skibidi toilets and Strider toilets are actively advancing on the position. We see Agent Cameraman fire back from an attack using a cannon mounted on an armored vehicle. One by one, he destroys dangerous enemies. But besides the infantry, the army of Skibidi toilets is rich in aviation. 2 new modernized Skibidi toilet helicopters are attacking from the air. With the help of precise missile shots, they knock down the POV camera exchange to the ground. We then see one of the cameramen trying to escape the attack. He is being pursued by the same Skibidi toilet with claws that was shown to us in the first leak. He is merciless and crushingly pierces the defenseless agent with his claws. And then with the final blow, he rips his head off. What a terrible sight! Next, the Skibidi toilet rushes at our observing cameraman, but a well-aimed beam from a stunning gun stops him halfway. It's brother-in-arms Agent Cameraman to the rescue. And then we see an incredible sight. A new hero is introduced to our attention. Pay attention to his brutality and how similar he is to his sister in Speakerwoman. He is very massive and tall. In his hands are 2 military blades made of black steel. On the back of the 4 turbines is a small jetpack. With a lightning-fast leap, he approaches the dangerous Skibidi toilet and finishes him off with knives straight to the head. Look how brutal he is. He allows his fellow agent to cope with a difficult situation on his own and rise to his feet as befits a worthy warrior. Next, we see how the armored vehicle drives beyond the fence. But at this moment, a hybrid mutant suddenly attacks the car. He easily picks up the car and throws it away like a light paper box. The car fatally explodes. Looks like a duel is brewing. But the duel is not at all equal in strength. Improved Speakerman prepares to attack. But suddenly, oh my God, helicopters start falling. And we see the already familiar high-speed blue lightning from Glitch Technologies. Incredible. The Ninja Plunger cameraman is back. Yoo-hoo! The ruthless destruction of the hybrid mutant instantly begins. Blow after blow, he receives heavy defeats. The familiar plungers begin to stick into his head. You're right, he's back. How long have we waited for him? Look at his new combat transport. This is some crazy idea. Yes, we were not mistaken. This is a modernized armored toilet. It's shockingly cool at the same time. And a lot of fun. Cameraman in a red shirt begins to laugh fervently at the cameraman's plunger updates, for which he gets a plunger in the head. I'm a miracle, look at his new legs. They are just like new. The affected plunger cameraman once again sends his colleague, Agent, to hell. In turn, the second cameraman supports him with a finger up, and it gets reciprocated. At this moment, the mutant hybrid comes to his senses. But he doesn't have time to do anything because the large speaker deafens his power with a sound wave. And he finishes with a control blow of the blade right to the head. We can also notice that the large speaker is seriously wounded by a blow to the heart and his arm is torn off. But this is not the end because a huge bomber plane appears in the sky. This Skibidi army aircraft is attacking again. Well, his attack is quickly overwhelmed by accurate rocket strikes. Look who it is. How cool is it that our 2 favorite Titans are accompanying a column of Alliance troops, shooting down a bomber along the way? Where are they going, and what happens next? Okay, now let's dive into the analytics block. Let's look at all the Easter eggs and secrets in detail. Watch the video to the end, and you will learn a lot of interesting things. Let's get started. Please note there is a new supergun. It is quite powerful and not like the paralyzing beam cannon. I think in some cases it will be more effective. By the way, please note that POV camera main survived after being hit by 2 missiles. What do you think about this? Most likely there are 2 options here, or the cameramen have been upgraded to a more powerful level, or this particular operator is something special and we will have a new hero. You can also pay attention to the hybrid mutant in the last episode. He didn't have a jetpack. But now look carefully. He has a jetpack with some kind of strange pipe. Perhaps it is made for better protection. Next, pay attention to the cameramen sitting on an armor-piercing vehicle. I don't know if this is an Easter egg or not, but their location is very similar to the logo that we saw in the laboratory. In general, the logo itself indicates the control function. This control is determined by the degree of review and receipt of information from large areas of the territory. That is, thereby we can say that the main function of the camera exchange is data collection. Now let's take a closer look at Dark Speakerman. Where did it come from and who created it? The first time we see the Speakerman wearing a red shirt is episode 24. Well, this character is clearly smaller in size and has a different head. In the 63rd episode, we see its modernization? Or is this a completely new and completely different speaker? Write your opinion in the comments. And so, Dark Speakerman. Firstly, he has quite impressive growth. We also see that his column is different from the others. If you compare his head with the head of a female speaker, then we will see that his head is darker and more brutal. It does not have special recesses for inserting knives. In his hands are 2 black combat knives, which he masters perfectly. On the back, there is a small jetpack with 4 turbines that allows you to move quickly and close the distance with the enemy. We also see a classic black suit, black pants, black shoes, black tie, dark red shirt, black leather gloves. It is also worth paying attention to his brutal character. He is not inclined to kindness and tenderness. The same cannot be said about a woman speaker. She is more cheerful and relaxed. She easily comes to the rescue. We will also notice that they have similar fighting skills and use 2 knives. Well, we haven't seen all the capabilities of the Dark Speaker yet. How do you think they are related to each other? Is it brother and sister, or are they in a relationship? Or maybe it's the daughter and the father? Write your theories in the comments. Another important detail that we can notice is the blood on the bodies of the agents. This time, we clearly see when the head is torn off that the blood has a red tint. This is no longer machine fluid, or oil, for example. We can also see blood on the big Speakerman's shirt. At the same time, his hand is torn off and its iron structure is visible, and also a piece of metal in the heart. Therefore, we can confidently say that most agents are cyborgs, and only some of them are robots. For example, such as medical engineers. A robot can be distinguished by its mechanical movements and composure. You may be asking, where is Titan TV Man? I have a theory that Titan TV Man will appear only after the battle between the Skibidi scientist and the Alliance is in full swing. At the moment when the balance is destroyed, the TV Man Titan will appear to restore it. What do you think about this? Write in the comments. Now let's turn our attention to the updated plunger cameraman. As you have already noticed, the glitch toilet caught in episode 54 was carefully eliminated so as not to damage the technology, and its toilet was integrated with our favorite hero. There are armored plates on the toilet itself. Now there are additional rigid combat structures in the front. These are 4 guide blades for the ram. We also see that the toilet is controlled by hands with the help of special bracelets that a plunger inserts into your hands. There are aerodynamic blades on the back of the toilet cistern. They help cut through the air and accelerate. At the same time, they injure the enemy at high speed. Note that the same aerodynamic blades are used by Skibidi scientists. We can also spot a cannon plunger. 2 large ones on the sides and 2 small ones on top of the tank. Also note that the tank has a drain. I'm very interested in what will happen if someone pulls on this drain. Will the plunger wash me away? If so, where? From now on, we can see that his legs are completely restored. Although according to many theories, it was assumed that he would have the same legs as the scientist cameraman. There is some kind of special device behind the plunger's back. Most likely, this is a special retainer that helps to hold tightly to the glitch in the toilet so as not to fall out of it at high speed. The author introduces a new gesture as a standard. By the way, I want to note that the author of the series is introducing a new gesture. This gesture will clearly become the new standard. Oh yeah, by the way, did you notice the secret agent in the background? We see that this time he does not have a green glow. We can assume that this time he is here because of the plunger. But there is also a theory that he just wants to pick up the cameras that are scattered on the battlefield. Pay attention to what aircraft the Alliance army consists of. Here we see the Polaroid ship from episode 11, and also a ship of speakers. This suggests that the Alliance has prepared very seriously. And if we look closely at the Titan cameraman, we can see that his plasma cannon on his left hand has been restored, and some very massive device has appeared on his right hand. As we all know very well, he has a magnetic attraction gun on his right hand. But this time, there is clearly some kind of super modification here. What kind of device is this? What do you think? Please write in the comments. Friends, this episode was actually very intense. Most likely, I will do more additional analysis. And now, as I promised, let's look at our winners. And so in the previous videos, the winners were Stefano DeSarno, 2573, Wong Sukfun, 6620, Seals Serenity, 4423. My congratulations, dear friends. In order not to miss my next videos, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in new videos. Greetings, my dear viewers. Pyramid on Air. Allow me to present to you episode 64. Brace yourselves, because this episode, released after a grueling 7-day wait, was nothing short of spectacular. The 64th episode was released after almost a 7-day wait. This was a really crazy episode. At first, it seemed to me that this episode would be very long in time, but despite the fact that it turned out to be short, it still looks very high quality and rich. Therefore, these 7 days were not wasted. This episode, really good preparation of the viewer for the upcoming battle, which we will probably witness in the next 2 episodes, where the G-Man toilet together with the Scientist toilet will oppose Titan Speakerman and Titan Cameraman. We also saw some new Skibidi toilets in this episode, including return of the vacuum toilet from episode 46. In addition to this, we got to see the secret agent up close and in detail. And we were able to see his unique ability for the first time so close. So if you don't want to miss the interesting secrets and Easter eggs in episode 64, be sure to watch this video to the end. Let's dive right into the action. The series begins with everyone running headlong into wild chaos to escape death. Pay attention to the development of the special effects of explosions, how beautiful and high quality they have become. Please note that absolutely everyone is running, both the toilets and the Alliance. The situation is so critical that even the Alliance agent Speakerman has clung to the running toilet, and together they are trying to leave the location as quickly as possible. And after a few seconds, we understand the reason for such a stampede. This is due to the return of the upgraded vacuum toilet. If you've been watching this series for a while, then most likely you know that it first appeared in the 46th episode. Who was killed by the Titan TV man? At first glance, he doesn't look like himself. But if we pay attention to the leak that was given to us before the release of this episode, we see the resemblance. Therefore, we can say with confidence that this is it. Its suction system has changed dramatically. He got wheels and new armor, and a huge oven with circular saws inside. Immediately after the first demonstration of the updated vacuum toilet, we see how the G-Man toilet joins the scene. This is exactly what we were shown in the leak. Just look at this new suction system. It really shocks everyone. Almost no one manages to escape. But still, we notice that some characters somehow managed to save their lives. One agent pressed himself against the wall to survive, and we see another agent on the suction system itself, but the chances of his survival are very low, because in a few seconds the vacuum toilet is attacked by our strongest Titan agents. First, Titan Speakerman fires at the vacuum toilet, and then the cameraman Titan delivers a crushing blow with his turbo hammer. Most likely, everyone who was close to the blow of this hammer died. After the hammer hit, we see on the left hand of the Titan cameraman his plasma cannon. This cannon was destroyed in the 55th episode. As you remember, in the 63rd episode, we were shown a little of the silhouette of the updated Titan agent. Even then, it was noticeable that his gun was in place, but many could not see it. In addition, you can notice that the gun has become a little larger than the first version. Also, if you might have noticed, the lights on cameraman's Titan jetpack are now blue. Most likely, its central core was improved and the jetpack turbine was connected directly to the energy core, which allows titanium to travel longer distances. After this, we can see Alliance helicopters transporting troops. Well, after that, we see how the G-Man toilet and 2 Titan agents came face to face. But this meeting did not last long because the G-Man toilet with a malicious grin disappeared behind the building. Notice his sneaky smile here. He really reminded me of the Joker. Well, in turn, the Titan cameraman reminded me of Batman and the Titan speaker man reminded me of Robin. Have you noticed this similarity? Please write about this in the comments. The Joker's smile that the G-Man toilet showed us tells us that some kind of meanness is about to happen. Look at the G-Man toilet. It's clearly not prepared for this fight. He doesn't have any new updates and his safety glasses are missing. It is obvious that he was present in this episode simply to cover his army, but nothing more. Things start to pick up steam when G-Man's toilet disappears behind the building. And we are presented with a new, highly modernized toilet with explosives and missiles. This should have alerted everyone, but the Titan clearly didn't care. And now the Skibidi toilet launches a huge rocket towards the Titans. At this moment, we see how this situation activates a new ability of Titan Cameraman. This is the new and improved energy shield ability. It is attached to his right arm and is summoned upon command from the Iron Core. The Cameraman Titan originally used a variety of shields. Last time, in the 57th episode, he used a piece of roof instead of a shield, which indicates that he feels the need to use various shields. It is clear that the Alliance scientists, understanding this need, made for him this wonderful update in the form of an energy shield. We see that it copes with its functions perfectly, protecting against large missiles, including those filled with radioactive acid. As you already remember, this acid destroyed his hand cannon in the 55th episode, right after the missile attack was defeated. Alliance helicopters leave the location, thereby emphasizing that the main threat to the location is now absent. But in fact, the surprise is yet to come. Next, Titan Speakerman, using cunning tactics, flies behind the back of the Skibidi toilet. And at this moment, we notice a sign that says, "Trap." This has happened before in the series. It usually happens when there is a secret agent in the episode. Titan Speakerman, taking advantage of the helplessness in the middle of the toilet, throws off the protective water release cover, and the toilet flushes. And then we notice that after the toilet head has been flushed, a timer indication detonator appears in its place, which counts down the seconds until the explosion. As soon as the Titan cameraman realized that it was a bomb, without thinking for a second, he grabbed the toilet to boil. He picked it up and flew away on a rocket pack far behind the building, where a strong explosion occurred. Just look at the strength and power of our Titan cameraman. He rightfully bears the name of the strongest. After the explosion, he comes back without a single scratch. At this moment, we see that the billboard no longer says "Trap." The next moment, we see a group of Skibidi helicopters trying to attack the Titan agents. But without support, they turn out to be almost useless, and we see how the Titan cameramen use their hidden ability with the help of a plasma finger. They simply run away in horror, but do not have time to hide because the plasma charge overtakes them instantly. After this POV, the cameraman turns to the Titan agents and gives them a thumbs up. Titan cameraman curtsies and shows a thumbs up in response. But Titan Speakerman interrupts their chivalrous pleasantries and waves his hand in front of his brother Titan's camera. He seems to want to tell him, "Hey brother, are you daydreaming in your curtsies? We urgently need to chase the G-Men toilet. Wow! And they also call me an eyeless speaker." After the Titans fly away, we see a very important, memorable scene. If you look closely at the billboards of the building, you will see portraits of the secret agent everywhere. And we also see a secret agent appearing on the roof. We also see a small green glow to the side of it that disappears almost immediately. You still don't know exactly what this green glow does. Well, we know that the secret agent was trying to help the Alliance. In the 62nd episode, he literally gave the cameraman life-saving headphones against the sound wave. And this time he gave a hint to the Alliance Titan by writing the word "Trap" on the billboard. Is the secret agent actually an evil character, or does he want to help the Alliance? He looks quite aggressively at the POV cameraman. And then we see how he teleports. But perhaps this is not teleportation, but he simply turned on the invisibility mode, which allows him to walk around and collect cameras. If this is teleportation, then most likely he headed to the location where the Alliance Titans flew. So, what are your thoughts on the secret agent's role, and what do you predict will happen in the next episode? If you found this analysis engaging, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more updates. And please watch the next video. Greetings, my dear viewers. Pyramid on Air. This is the most epic, coolest, most spectacular episode of the series. In this video, we will talk about why did the Skibidi scientist run away? What will happen to the damaged Titan cameraman? For what purpose did the secret agent watch the battle? And there are many more interesting things in today's video. So like and subscribe to the channel and watch the video until the end. Well, let's start and let's go. Episode analysis. At the very beginning, we see how two cameraman agents were literally pushed to the wall. One of them tried to give up, but it didn't help him at all, and an iron spear was also used on him. Further, we see that in the role of POV cameraman in a terracotta shirt performing. The author of the series often uses this character in the latest seasons. Here we can assume that since we last saw him in the 63rd episode, together with the plunger cameraman, then the plunger cameraman himself most likely should also be present in the 65th episode. But for some reason, we haven't seen it yet. Next, we see a Skibidi policeman with an updated weapon. He has 4 cannons firing iron spears, and there are also additional copies above the sirens that are reloaded into the main guns. He also has a new jetpack with 2 turbines. Here we can assume that all the other police officers also received their updates, and the Skibidi army has become even stronger. Next, we see that the Skibidi policeman took pity on the cameraman agent in the terracotta shirt, and most likely this happened due to the fact that the Skibidi scientist gave the order to leave him alive in order to capture on his camera everything that would happen next. And then we see that groups of Skibidi toilets are gathering in one place. From this moment, we can say that we see the continuation of episode 64, just when the G-Man toilet, running away from the Titans of the Alliance, finally got to his brothers. They took a position to await the arrival of the Titans. And finally, we see how Titan cameraman and Titan speakerman arrived at their destination. The Titan cameraman immediately turned on the protection of his core, and after that, the first stage of the prepared trap began, which the secret agent warned about in episode 64. All groups of Skibidi toilets suddenly began to leave the territory of the destroyed airport. At this moment, we understand that the G-Man toilet didn't even suspect anything about it. Turning hopefully to the Skibidi scientist, he tried to find support. But the cunning Skibidi scientist only waved his claw at him goodbye, smiling meanly. The G-Man toilet was completely shocked by this turn of events. He realized that this might be his very last fight, and he turned decisively, fully prepared to attack the Titans. Activating his eyes and lasers, he struck the cameraman Titan. In turn, the cameraman Titan immediately activated his new energy shield, which perfectly protects against lasers. Taking advantage of the moment, Titan Speakerman began to attack G-Man. He fired several accurate shots and moved behind the G-Man toilet. Taking advantage of this pause, Titan Cameraman activated his plasma cannon on his left hand. Make an accurate shot at the head of the G-Man toilet. But the G-Man toilet is strong enough, and this shot only knocked off his headphones. At the same moment, don't waste a second, Titan Speakerman uses his ability and attacks G-Man with a powerful sound wave. To everyone's surprise, it doesn't work at all. And later we will understand why. The next toilet, G-Man with all his speed attacks the Titan, but the Titan cameraman stops him with his powerful hands. By the way, this is exactly the leak that we were shown before the release of the 65th episode. Then the Titan Speakerman enters the battle and quickly grabs the toilet flushing device and tries to activate it, but nothing works. At this moment, the G-Man toilet bowl powerfully hits the Titan operator on the head with such force that there is even an explosion. At this moment, the Titan Speakerman is unsuccessfully trying to flush the tank. Well, we all understand that something is wrong here. G-Man attacks Titan Speakerman with his lasers. Titan Speakerman covers his head and torso with his hands to somehow reduce the damage. In turn, the cameraman Titan takes out his turbo hammer and delivers a powerful blow to the jetpack. Having knocked down one turbine, he delivers another powerful blow with a hammer, and this time the armor and laser cannons fly off to the side. The cameraman Titan then fires a shot from his plasma cannon on his left arm, and then he complements it with another hammer blow. Until the victim comes to his senses, he will activate his spiked brass knuckles and begins to deliver crushing blows with his fist. But the G-Man toilet doesn't give up so easily. He activates his laser eyes again, and the Titan Cameron again protects himself with his energy shield. Taking advantage of the moment, Titan Speakerman jumps on G-Man's toilet from behind and does a double strike to the eyes. Most likely, this is the return of karma. Now G-Man will feel what Titan TV Man experienced in the 47th episode in his own skin. Well, look what's happening. Immediately, we notice that G-Man's eyes behave like the mechanical eyes of a robot. Next, the cameraman Titan activates its core and begins to attack with a powerful stream of plasma. And here, an incredible event awaits us. We see that instead of a living G-Man, there is some kind of robot doll in his head. Well, we'll talk about what this means and who controlled it a little later. Taking advantage of the confusion of the Alliance Titans, the Skibidi Kamikaze group launched their swift attack. Titan Speakerman manages to leave the territory because he is more agile, but Titan Cameraman only managed to activate his energy shield and bend down. At that moment, the full might of the Kamikaze squad fell upon him. POV mains camera knockback with blast wave. Next, we see how the Titan Speakerman's cannon falls off from his left hand. Pay attention in the car in front of the overpass, we see a secret agent. I'll tell you what he's doing here this time a little later. Next, we see how, after a terrible explosion, Titan Cameraman rises to his feet. He still managed to survive, and it's incredible. Well, look at his breakdowns. Almost everything is destroyed. The right arm and the new energy shield are missing. The main and auxiliary cameras are damaged. The core also began to flicker. Shards stuck in the body. Next, Titan Cameraman shows with his gesture that their plans have failed. Well, now let's move on to the main theories. How did POV and Speakerman escape? Firstly, I believe that Titan Speakerman and POV Cameraman were saved only because they were thrown by the blast wave behind the car overpass. Who controls the robot doll? Further, according to one theory, the robot doll is controlled by the G-Man himself, which is hiding somewhere in the laboratory. If we analyze the episodes, we see that the last time the laser guns were upgraded at G-Man's toilet was in the 57th episode. Next, G-Man's toilet appears in the 60th episode, and we see that his guns already look more simplified. In all subsequent episodes, he also appears with simplified lasers. This suggests that we see a controlled doll in front of us. Where is the real G-Man? According to one theory, the G-Man toilet is located in a laboratory where work is being done on it to improve its protection and weapons. That is why he, together with the scientist Skibidi, created his doll Double in order to gain time and make all the necessary updates and gain all the new abilities. At the same time, using a robot doll, they get the opportunity to set up a trap for the Titans of the Alliance, because you can safely sacrifice the doll. What is the agent doing here? The secret agent in this episode was most likely trying to warn the Alliance, but he failed to do this, although he clearly knew that all these episodes we saw in front of us only a double of the G-Man toilet. So in this episode, he will most likely just take the footage from Man's Head POV camera. Who will help the Alliance next? We can assume that most likely the Titans of the Alliance will be sent to laboratories for further restoration and improvement. Well, while they are absent, most likely heroes such as Glitch Plunger Cameraman, Mika Scientist Cameraman, Dark Speaker Man, Camera Woman, Speaker Woman, TV Woman, and also an upgraded Titan TV Man. Episode 65 turned out to be too intense and rich, so most likely there will be additional videos revealing the details of this episode. So subscribe to the channel, like, and watch my next video.